Welcome back to Business on City News 570, powered by Cowan Insurance. As God would have it, we're joined by Adam Veldpaus. He is a commercial account executive at the Cowan Insurance Group. And Gregory, one of the things we've been talking about on and off for quite some time now, as the economy has been opening up, our supply chains are impacted or crippled. Take your pick. It depends on the day. But supply chains are affecting businesses right across the board right here in Waterloo region.
Well, I don't think anyone that's alive today has ever heard about, talked about, or had more information about supply chains as we've had in the last couple of years. But Adam, Cowan Insurance and insurance companies do provide coverages to companies for supply chain disruptions. So let's talk about some of those coverages and who's available to get them and what they cover.
So thanks, Greg. So about those coverages, it's available to pretty much anybody who has an exposure there, and it's kind of a unique thing. So part of the supply chain can be covered, other parts of it cannot be covered. So one of the key things we do is work with our clients to understand how they receive their products and materials, because our intention is to understand the risk that the supply chain poses to their business. We look at things like how reliant they are on their suppliers. Are they receiving from only one supplier that they rely on all their sourcing options, or are there multiple options? Greg, when it's just a sole supplier situation, what happens if that supplier suffers a catastrophic loss and cannot provide the products or materials anymore to the business? You're in a bad spot. So you got to quickly look and arrange and obtain coverage through an insurance provider, or maybe you can look to another partner vendor so that you could have some more product and materials coming in. That's really the key thing to us, is to understand that so that we can help you, plan for the unexpected and keep your business moving forward.
Yeah, and I think that, it's kind of an interesting piece of coverage because, of course, as you well know, and as even our listeners know, if you have a supply chain disruption, whether you got insurance coverage or you don't have insurance coverage, it's a disruption to your business. Even if you have the insurance coverage for it, it's still a massive disruption. So, we talked to our friend Kirk Irving from BDC, who gives us great advice for small and medium-sized businesses on how to, keep your wits about you when you're talking about your suppliers and keeping an eye out for local suppliers. Does all of that kind of go into the context of providing insurance? So the more mitigation of risk the business is working on, that helps refine the cost of the coverage, but also the merits of the coverage from Cowan's perspective as well?
Yeah, 100%, Greg. Taking all that into consideration and having, examined how everything's coming into your business and having that disaster recovery plan is important. So that you are ready to execute and move on the next day if you do suffer, a supply chain problem. And as we witnessed in the last 2 years, it happens everywhere now.
Yeah, and I guess this is a good reminder. We'll leave it there. But I mean, these are the sorts of things that we often would say. I mean, our friends at Cowan are here to give good advice and on a variety of topics. This is another one of those ones that, be in constant contact with your insurance broker, because they got good information, they got good ideas, and there may be an insurance product that suits your needs so that you can mitigate those disruptions when they happen. Is that? I think that's one of the things we want the takeaway to be here.
100%. That's a great summation.
Good stuff. All right, we've been joined by our good friend Adam Veldpaus, commercial account executive at Cowan Insurance Group.